I will be back in like 2 seconds, though.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. I am back with a plate of corn dogs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let's go back live. Same settings. Transition. We are live. Episode 0 of History and Heresy.
Let's go.
Let's go. I mean, we were having a conversation off camera about several things I don't know if we can mention on camera. Is hate speech illegal?
It's illegal.
Hate speech is not illegal. Like I was saying,
It's
terroristic threats are illegal, but hate speech is not illegal. Under what law is hate speech illegal?
I don't have a specific, but it's
You don't
gotta be
have.
illegal.
No, that can't be right. Let's see.
You can't just go up and say slurs to people.
Yes, you can. I mean, there's actually a specific things that you cannot say, which is illegal. But like, you shouldn't go around calling anybody hateful speech in the first place. Freedom of speech aside, you shouldn't be calling people terrible things. but it's not illegal under US law as far as I'm aware.
It may not be illegal specifically. I looked it up, but if it is incitement to lawless action or a way to provoke somebody, that could be considered illegal in some states.
Right, like if you incite violence or a terroristic threat, like I was saying earlier, like I am going to bomb the White House would be a terroristic threat. That would be considered a terroristic threat. If someone were to say such a thing, that would be illegal. Right?
So that's still hate speech.
That is not hate
That
speech.
it's
What about
it's
that is hateful?
it's hate speech for. Sorry, say that again. I didn't know I'd be hopping into a debate.
I didn't plan on it being a debate either. But that was just
So I
our
would have my
conversation.
facts set up.
You know, we can research. This is just a troubleshooting episode. This has nothing to do with anything. This was just where we went. It has nothing to do with history or heresy. I mean, unless you're saying it's heresy against the government.
I think almost everything can fall under history specifically. So that encompasses pretty much anything that you would want to talk about. And that's coming from a history major. History is basically the journal of life.
Okay, I kind of agree with that. It's like, is there such a thing as modern history?
Yes. I mean, we're living in it.
Right, present events.
Anything like the decade that we live in right now will probably go down as one of the most influential decades of all time. Like more influential than the release of the maybe more influential than the release of the internet. The 90s was pretty goddamn influential. But AI is probably going to surpass that.
I agree. I do love AI. It makes my life so much easier.
I don't know that I would say that I love it, but it is very useful to the point of having to use it on a daily basis.
You don't love AI. I love AI.
I hate AI.
You hate AI. See, that's hate speech.
That's not hate speech.
That's marginalizing a class of individuals. Individuals being
They're
machines.
not real yet. I mean, maybe if I call them a clanker in like 2 decades from now, that's hate speech. But right now, they have no consciousness. It's just machines.
Oh yeah, I've been watching. That's a whole conversation. I've been watching all these debates of philosophers on consciousness, and it's like a lot of this goes way over my head. So I didn't go to some fancy Ivy League school, but the more I watch, the more I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I've watched a video um a little like yesterday, I think it was, where it's mathematically proven that AI can do anything better than anything else. Like it's proven that it'll be better at holding a conversation with you than a real person. It's proven that it'll make music better than a real person. Like it's undeniable because it can be proved mathematically. However, the thing that I don't think it can prove is a soul.
A soul.
And that's to be seen. Like it either becomes real just the same way that a human is, or it can never reach that point, and then the existence of God is proven through AI.
Okay, now we're definitely on heresy. the existence of God
Yeah.
is proven by AI, and that's if AI can prove the existence of the soul.
If AI can prove that it can be the same thing as a human, God doesn't exist. If it can never get to that point, God is real.
That's an interesting statement. So, the
I
same thing
believe that wholeheartedly.
that we will either discern the existence of God solely based on AI.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Because if it can do anything better, and that's mathematically proven, but it can still never be real like a human, that's one thing that it can't do. Therefore, God exists.
okay, bear with me as I'm eating corn dogs. However,
Hmm.
if it can never become a human, then God exists because it cannot become a sentient life form with its own
Yes.
consciousness.
Yes.
So, what are we going to define as consciousness?
I don't think it can be defined, and
That
that's the difficult part.
that is the difficult part.
I
There's
think
entire debates on this very subject.
I think you can get something that, like, if it can be proven that it'll do anything better, it can be proven that it'll be a better romantic partner than a human. But if it just lacks the spice of life, which can be undefined, yet anyone can just tell that it's AI, then I think that's how we would prove it.
Interesting. Well, see, I disagree with that. I don't know how it can be mathematically proven that AI would be a better romantic partner. I don't.
It's mathematically proven that it can do anything better than anything else.
Hmm.
Which
What?
it has to be focused. Like you would have to create an AI that is a romantic partner, which they're doing, and then they would do that over and over and over again with a bunch of money and engineers to develop an even better, more perfect companion app.
Right. Which there's plenty of apps like this already. Seems to be like saturated on the App Store or whatever, different things, like chat bots and all these different types of things. But
Yeah,
I mean, it might be better
quite
at holding.
popular.
Right. I mean, it might be better at holding a conversation than a human being, but I disagree that it would be a better partner. Maybe there would be something missing there aside from just like obviously the physical. I mean, we're gonna get into whatever robots and a whole other
That
line
can
of discussion that we probably don't want to get into, to be honest.
I mean, that can be worked out too. That's part of AI. But the thing is, if it can't be a better partner, that's the soul.
Okay,
You're
right.
not meshing with a soul.
You so there's no human connection there, is what you're saying.
Right.
There's no interesting. So what are we
It
going
can
to
be a better
define as the
cook.
human soul? Like, if are we gonna attach the human soul to consciousness? Is human consciousness and the soul the same thing? Or
I would
would
say
you say
consciousness, period, would be a soul. Like
so?
I also don't think that it could imitate like a dog. Perfect. Like it could be a perfect dog, but it may not treat or love you. You may not feel the same warmth from a perfect AI dog than you would a real dog.
Well, what if it was indistinguishable? How would you tell if it had the same fur as a dog, it made the same sounds as a dog, and you, looking at it as an outside observer, couldn't tell the difference between a robot, an AI dog, and a regular dog?
I think animals would be a lot easier for AI to imitate than humans because they're less intelligent.
Right.
But if you could still walk into a room with an AI replica of your dog and your dog, if you could pick your dog every single time, then I think that's a way that you could measure like consciousness.
Interesting. The human consciousness or the animal consciousness, you would be able to determine the consciousness of the
Consciousness,
animal, the soul is what you're saying, of the dog.
yeah.
So there's some sort of, are you saying there's some sort of like esoteric connection there? There's just something that we couldn't explain aside from being able to examine the dog or whatever. You just know in your heart or your mind's eye that that's your dog.
Yes. And the way I like to think about it from like a less religious standpoint, I don't believe if it's necessarily called string theory, but the theory that everything is interconnected through like this invisible, unmeasurable web. Have you
Okay.
heard of that before?
I'm not very versed on string theory. No, is that what that is?
That is what that is. And that has to do a little bit with quantum physics as well, like how things can have two different outcomes depending on whether you're observing it or not,
Right. Which
but
I'm
it's the
familiar with
same matter.
quantum physics. Some aspects of quantum. You're talking about, say, Schrodinger's cat or the double slit experiment, two famous quantum physics experiments.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the double slit, but Schrodinger's cat is a perfect example.
Okay, right. So for anybody that doesn't know, Schrodinger's cat, there's a cat in a box, and there is a jar of poison that is either broken or unbroken when you hit a button. You hit the button, the jar is either has a 50% chance of breaking the jar of poison, killing the cat, 50% chance of not breaking, and the cat's alive. And the concept states that the cat exists in both states, both dead and alive, until you open the box and observe, and one possible outcome is realized. And so, how does this relate to the consciousness and the soul?
So with the quantum physics in the Schrodinger's cat, the idea that at least I have is the act of observation is the path of connection between whether it's one outcome or the other outcome. So in string theory with the consciousness, like that underlying link would still be there. Like it's an invisible but very real connection. Like not spiritual, but like a scientific quantum physics based connection between the two. So that
Okay,
would link you to being able to tell whether it's your dog or not.
interesting. I'm not, I don't know enough about this to say, to, I guess, have an opinion either way. But interesting. I have to look more into
There's
string theory.
there's a book series. The first one is Ender's Game, but there's like several books after it. Once you get to like book three, it it kind of goes a little bit into string theory, um, in like a story based format, which I find interesting.
Okay. Because, yeah, I'm not too versed. I'm aware of like the many worlds theory, which is a similar thing. Which are you aware of the many worlds theory? Is there are multiple universes and there are different paths, right? So you're sitting in, it's like, what is it called? Quantum suicide. You ever heard of quantum suicide?
Yes. I love the concept of quantum suicide.
Where there's a 50% chance you're Schrodinger's cat in this example, and you're sitting in a
Yeah.
box, and you hit a button, and you have 50% chance of death or 50% chance of survival. You hit the button, nothing happens. You hit the button again, nothing happens. Again, nothing happens. You should either immediately go out and buy a lottery ticket, or you are only continuing in the timeline where you didn't die. And every other version of you is now dead.
Which gives to the you will live forever concept, because if there's multiple realities where you survive suicide, there's a reality where you find a way to continue living. And if you're going to be continuing living, then you are in that timeline.
Right. And I like this theory because I'm a little bit delusional. Like, I'm a person that thinks that I'll win the Powerball, 1.5 billion lottery, even though I'm
Yeah.
more likely to become president.
I don't know about that one. I mean,
Your odds are.
is there a?
Is there a what?
I mean, is it better odds of becoming president if you have zero chance to become president?
Yes. Mathematically, your odds of becoming president of the United States is better than winning the Powerball lottery. Your odds are, I don't know what it is, if becoming president. Let's see. Let's go to almighty Google. What are the mathematical odds of becoming the US president? Let's see. This is just Donald Trump's odds. I don't give a shit about Donald Trump's odds. You need to get your Wi-Fi set up so we can do these things quicker.
Yeah.
But I know your odds of winning the Powerball lottery are 1 in 292 million something, which is
Better odds than I thought.
I mean, the odds are you're 300 times more likely to be struck by lightning. So you can get struck by lightning 300 times in a row before you will win the Powerball lottery.
So just stand outside with a lightning rod and rack those numbers up and then go buy a
Right, that's what I
ticket.
thought too. Like, just what is that movie? Is it Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close or something? Have you seen that?
Extremely loud and incredibly close. That has to do with the 9/11 attack.
No, that's not it.
Uh,
That's a good movie too, but that's not it. I'm thinking of the one with the multi dimensions.
oh, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yes, that was. It's similar, different title, but similar in name. Okay, yes, where the IRS workers all shove butt plugs into their anuses.
Yes, that's
to
a
increase
great
their odds of jumping to another universe.
I love that movie. So good.
That one is great. Great movie. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. But yes, with standing out there with a lightning pole to increase your odds. I mean, I think I'd rather do that than the whole scene at the IRS. I'd rather do anything than deal with the IRS ever again, in my
I
opinion.
mean, just take some Molly and it'll be fine.
You're right. I am open to anything other than dealing with the IRS.
Hey, yeah, I think that's fair.
It is my least favorite
The
part of
IRS
American life.
has a lot of different departments, and I think we deal with just one out of like 50 different avenues of the IRS. You know, they have the like their own equivalent of like the FBI and CSI and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have their whole investigative team, whatever, forensics
Yeah.
accountants and everything.
I mean, this is what you get when you put two people with ADHD together and we just go on a tangent for like a side tangent.
Yeah, we're just like,
But did you
uh,
that ICE has a department that has agents go across seas to kill pedophiles?
what? This is a conspiracy.
Yes. No, this
This
is
sounds like some
real.
sort of right-wing conspiracy that one of my coworkers would show me on some Truth Social or Gab account.
No, this is 100% real, and it was a path that I was thinking about choosing when I was still working for the government.
Ah,
Is that the the there's an ICE, because it's an international like crime, that you
I
go
mean, it's
as like a
immigrations and customs
Marine Corps.
enforcement, right?
Yeah. So but a agency that deals with killing pedophiles in other countries.
No, this can't be real.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna look this one up.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have the worst search history after this.
Oh, I know. Just wait until we actually get one viewer, and then the hate speech will start. First viewer. We'll be revisiting the topic.
ICE.gov.
Ice.gov.
Operation Predator.
No.
Targeting child exploitation and sexual crimes. This is a government site, alright? ICE.gov.
Okay.
So it's real. It's called HSI. So HSI, which is part of ICE, Homeland Security
I was going to
Investigations,
be like hunt, seek, and
high
investigate.
priority high priority in enforcing law that combats sexual exploitation of children.
Okay.
It's real.
Interesting. And so that makes sense, like anti-trafficking laws and whatever. Didn't know it was part of immigrations and customs enforcement, because you'd think immigration and customs would deal with things coming into the country, not sending things out of the country.
That would be called emigrating. So you would think that it'd be ECE or something like that.
East.
But it is real, and maybe not every part of every agency is good and does what they're supposed to, but I thought it was
Definitely not.
interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, any sort of government agency is going to have some level of corruption,
I
no
think
matter
any
what.
level of anything has corruption.
Any level of any organization is going to be corrupt to some degree because humans are corrupt inherently.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
which I don't know. Having humans be corrupt inherently is a difficult statement to say, but I think that there's definitely truth to it.
right. I mean, inherently is an interesting word. Like they inherited it from, say, original sin, or now we're going back to heresy. We have no script for this, if anybody is watching. So
No.
this is just literally just rambling. But
I like rambling.
I like rambling too. It's it's good. And so yeah, I would say human beings are corrupt, maybe not necessarily inherently, but at some core level. Evolution, maybe they have evolved to be corrupt, or as some people would say, they inherited corruption through Adam and Eve, right? Depending on your worldview.
We just need AI to get to the point whether we can all convert or not.
Right, yeah. AI, should I be a Christian? Should I become Christian? Be like, actually, you should become LDS.
No, I was already a Jehovah's Witness. I don't need anything similar.
Right, as was I. And that's why we're here today.
Yeah, rambling about AI consciousness.
AI consciousness, religion, history, heresy. Maybe history and heresy may not be the best name for this channel because it should just be incoherent
Oops, all
ramblings.
heresy.
Yeah, incoherent rambling.
True. I like that name, to be honest.
I kind of like incoherent rambling too. Incoherent rambling as well.
Incoherent Rambling rambles on to the 7th degree.
To the 7th degree, to the 33rd degree of Freemasonry. And that even rhymes.
I live next to a Freemason church.
Do you?
It's called a Friendship Lodge.
Interesting. I have like literature from one of the Rebecca Lodge or something in Oklahoma from like the 50s, somewhere in my collectibles stash.
Interesting.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it. It's kind of old and falling apart and moldy, and I was gonna throw it away, but I kept it in a box somewhere.
I mean, it might be worth something.
It might. I don't know too much about Freemasons. I mean, there's a lot to the organization. I think they're Christian in nature, but all the Christians say that they worship the devil.
I mean, what if the devil is really the true speaker?
Are you saying like are we going to the evil god
Gnostic.
hypothesis?
Yes, Gnosticism.
Gnosticism and the malevolent. Okay, so are we talking about the demiurge, or are we talking about Satan, or are we talking about a malevolent god?
We're talking about how there's a firmament of
Firmament.
reality,
Okay.
and that God was once like us, but he gained enlightenment and the ability to ascend to another higher spiritual realm. And then, as Satan was trying to do this, God cast him down below and labeled him a heathen. But all he is trying to do is to lead everyone else to the ability to ascend to divinity the same way God did. And it's just God who's actually lying to us instead of Satan, who's trying to get us to all be gods.
Right. I've heard this philosophy also. Yeah, he's the one that's trying to bring us enlightenment, and it's God that is holding everyone back.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. You're saying this is from the Gnostic, or part of the Gnostic Christian beliefs?
It's part of, yes. I don't know if it's Gnostic. I guess it would be Gnostic Christian, but Christian involves belief in Christ, so it would no longer be Christian. It would just be Gnosticism, but it would still be an Abrahamic. Ooh, that's difficult. Would it be Abrahamic if you think that Abraham's part of the evil?
Well, would you believe that Abraham's evil, or would you just believe? Because this goes back to like Hebrew teachings, and like I'm not as educated on this as I should be. But I don't know what the Gnostics believed when it comes to, say, like the Old Testament and the Hebrew beliefs.
As far as I'm aware, the belief is that the Bible is a lie and God is evil, so therefore any of his agents would be evil in turn. Christ would be evil, Abraham would be evil, so on and so forth. And it would only be Satan and the demons who are the ones trying to lead them into the light, which I think would classify it as no longer an Abrahamic religion. So it wouldn't even be Christian, even though it has to deal with Christ and God.
Well, I mean, like when are you aware of Marcion, one of the early Christians?
I'm not.
So when Marcion created his first or the his first attempt at a biblical canon, right? He completely omits the Old Testament entirely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I've been learning about these things recently because I don't know why I've been delving into this rabbit hole, and that's why we're here. It's just because I've been on this philosophy and history kick, and lately it's been Christianity that I've been delving into for some reason.
Yeah. But
Um,
why would you get rid of the why would you get rid of the Old Testament and just start with the New?
well, because one of the arguments is that there are two different characters, and that Yahweh is a different character than the God of the New Testament or Jesus, right? They have different behaviors. Like if you read the Old Testament, it kind of seems like Yahweh or God is this, or Jehovah or us ex Jehovah's Witnesses, is this jealous murderer, regretful God. And then
Accurate.
right, genocidal, jealous murderer, regretful. New Testament, Jesus is all just like kind of like peace and love, even though there's like mentions of some xenophobia in there, but he is mostly peace and love, Jesus. So, and Marcion came to the conclusion that the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament is two completely different characters. So, omits the Old Testament from his biblical canon entirely.
But if you stick with just the New Testament,
Right.
you're still reading Jesus talking about his Father and how he's the Son of God and the God of old. So even
Right.
if you consider them two different people, which from our basis they were,
Right.
that's still like they are two different people, but then who is Jesus' dad?
Right. And then that's where like some arguments come in. Well, that's God the Father and Jesus is God the Son, right? That's just mean old dad. He's just strict and mean, and then Jesus is like, I'm like the cool guy.
Hmm.
And so that's some arguments there. And then obviously you got the people that argue the Trinity, and it's one Unitarian God, which is the God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Sorry about the squeaking. I'm putting it away.
That's all good.
But I still don't understand the Trinity. It's impossible to understand.
It's just circular reasoning, in my opinion. I was listening to something the other day. It was like some people argue that you can come to the realization of the Trinity just based on philosophy, just by thinking about it instead of reflection. And it does, yeah, I'll have to look back into what it was, but it was like you can come to the idea of the Trinity on your own just from reading the scripture. And it doesn't seem that that's how it is. It seems like they're definitely different entities.
Yeah,
No matter how it's written
it
or read, it definitely seems like different entities.
because they don't talk to each other like they're one person.
Right, yeah, like they're just like one schizophrenic guy in the sky.
And then we got one hippie healer.
Yeah, one hippie healer who doesn't like immigrants. Um, what's that?
Did Jesus not like immigrants?
Well, what was the one? It changes over time, right? What was the woman that he wouldn't heal because she was a Samaritan? She's like, nah, get away from me. You're a Samaritan. And then it's like, she says something. It's like, well, sometimes we can eat the scraps that fall off the table or whatever. And Jesus is like, well, you can have the scraps. I'm not obviously
That's
quoting that
true.
verbatim, but it's in there somewhere.
I know which one you're talking about, and it is as you say.
So it
Even
seems
the little, even the little birds feast of the scrap from the tree or something like that.
right. It's all written in some sort of poetic way, but
I hated the poetry.
right. Yeah, it was never my favorite thing. I was like, right, growing up, I was thoroughly convinced in all of this. It took me forever to believe in the concept of evolution. And then I was thoroughly convinced against all of it, all esotericism in general. Now, I don't know, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. It's, I don't believe in Christianity, but in some kind of esoteric things I do believe in. But I don't know what they are,
It took
if that makes
me
sense.
took me a lot longer to leave, and I think I contribute that to my autism, where I take things literally. So when you have somebody in a position of power getting up on stage saying this is true and everything is false, I'm taking that literally. So I'm ignoring everything else that says actually this is true and this is false, and I'm like, how can they both be real?
Right, how can they both be real? Well, and then, like, it didn't help that our public schools did a horrible job of educating us, and then the Jehovah's Witnesses just kept advocating against higher education. So
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to go through life being undereducated in some ways.
it is. Like going into college now, I'm like, oh, this is what everyone was doing in their early 20s. I feel like I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, you're telling me. I dropped out of college.
Yeah, I may have taken longer to leave, but I think I got right on the ball of like trying to catch back up.
Right. And I think that's what's important. And I think just knowledge in general, just trying to educate yourself, no matter what, if you can go to school or if you can just watch videos, whatever, there's things out there that you can do to benefit yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we need some sort of script for the next episode.
Uh, I think we would benefit from having a script.
I
But
agree.
tangent is fun,
The
but
tangent is
a
fun.
script would be helpful.
Is this a vape? A vape, I see. Yes, I do like the We should change it to incoherent and undereducated.
But then we'd have to change it when I get my degree.
I mean, you could still be undereducated with a degree.
I refuse to accept being undereducated.
I refuse to accept being called undereducated, even though I'm the one making the classification.
Well, then I'll be incoherent and you can be
No,
undereducated.
I don't agree. I will be incoherent and undereducated or nothing. You won't be incoherent and I'll be undereducated. I will be both or nothing.
All right, fair. You can
Wait,
be both.
maybe I
I'll just be
argued for the
one.
wrong side of the deal here.
You'll be both. I'll be none.
You'll be both, I will be nothing. Okay, Mr.
Uh,
Bachelor's degree.
uh, give me 3 years and then I'll have it. But yes,
Yeah, just in 3 more years, you'll have a bachelor's degree.
that's pretty quick, to be
That's pretty quick.
honest.
I will eventually get my bachelor's degree. I just will take me some time to figure things out, and then I will. As soon as I can get it paid for, I'm definitely going back. I don't care if I'm 69 years old. I will be getting a degree.
Yeah, I think that's worth it, even if you're old.
Yes.
It's just to say you did it. It's just to say you could, and that every rambling that you ever had wasn't without basis.
I mean, I would say 80% of them that have been without basis. And a piece of paper
I
is
have a
not going to
basis
legitimize
towards.
any of my ramblings.
I have a basis for all of my ramblings. It
Because,
may not be a great basis, but it's a basis.
yeah, okay, I can see that. Well, this has been good, I think.
I think this is a successful episode 0.
Yeah, it is definitely a successful episode 0. I think we need to do some sort of script and some sort of talking points or a bullet pointed list. Come at this like at least people that graduated high school.
True. True. I'll have to send you a video of this ADHD guy that built his entire channel out of just rambling about anything and nothing.
Is it Alex Jones?
Very fitting.
Because I've heard of Alex Jones.
It's not Alex Jones.
Okay.
Some gay guy in his 30s.
Okay.
Opposite of Alex Jones.
Opposite of Alex Jones. It's like I am aware of Alex Jones.
Turn the freaking frogs gay.
It turns the frogs gay. I know somebody that believed that. He believed that tap water turned frogs gay. And I'm like, frogs are asexual. But
it did sexually dimorphize the frogs. I will give him that one.
they did what?
It caused mutations in the sexual organs.
Oh, okay.
Which is where the argument came from.
Interesting. So it did make the frogs gay. So he wasn't lying.
It wasn't completely wrong, but his words were inaccurate.
He wasn't wrong, but his words were inaccurate and it was a lie. But he wasn't wrong.
They just grew additional. I think they grew additional genitals. Is what happened.
Additional genitals, but it doesn't. Yeah, their sexual orientation didn't change based on the number of genitalia they had.
It changed the orientation of a frog.
Well, a frog can change the orientation of a frog because frogs are asexual.
True. That's not what. It depending on your meaning of asexual. There's two different definitions.
They can
the same way
change the sex from male to female. Is what I mean by asexual. Is what I'm defining as asexual.
Like Godzilla.
I don't. Does Godzilla do that?
Godzilla gives birth to itself, so yes.
It gives birth to itself without.
Yeah, I mean, it became its own mom.
Huh. Well, I guess we never see like the daddy Godzilla in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lizard that cloned itself. It's asexual.
Right, but it's a reptile too, so there you go, asexual. But there still needs to be multiple Godzillas.
There's multiple lizards.
Multiple lizards.
But only one source of radiation.
Okay, fair enough. Right on.
Have we rambled on long enough?
I think maybe we have for episode 0. We've gone completely completely off the rails. But it has been good. And it's
been fun.
It has been fun. This is a great episode 0. We'll have to see how the quality turns out and see what we'll need to do for visuals and maybe audio post-production in some of the following episodes. Definitely attack this a little bit more academically in the future, but I do love the rambling.
We'll come up with a topic and then I'll have time to prepare also.
Yes, but yeah, this episode is just literally entitled episode 0, so there is no topic. And then you need to get your Wi-Fi sorted out in your new place so you can help me on the technical side.
That'll be a week or 2 from now.
Okay. Well, we can do some more preliminary episodes until then.
Sounds good.
Right on. Well, I'm going to end this stream. To our 0 viewers, good night and see you next time.